Hey there, Beasties! Happy Maker Monday. So today I'm going to be showing you how I do the HP 4-in-1 weave. Now, I don't know if it's a fun fact or not about chainmail, but a lot of the weaves have very boring names. Like Byzantine is a pretty one, and some of the more artisan experience, advanced weaves get really pretty names like Viper Scale and such. But the down and dirty foundational base chainmail weaves, which seem to still be my most popular, have very tech-driven names. Like HP 4-in-1 stands for Half Persian 4-in-1, and it means that one ring goes through 4 other rings. And I'll be visually explaining that in just a minute. If we want to see what a finished piece of 4-in-1 looks like, that would be this right here, and it can focus. Yay! This one right here is a two-tone with a light blue and silver. Very pretty. Ooh, I thought it focused and then it didn't. Okay, and what we're going to be making today is in purple and black so that you can see it really easily. Okay, let's get going. So like I said, we're going to be working in purple and black rings today. That way you have a really nice visual difference between the two. And I'm a little different in how I start my HP 4-1. I start mine with a little bit of European 4-in-1 weave, which is kind of when you think of the classic chainmail armor, that is the go-to. So, I'm just making a really quickie little, like a starter chain set. Which is a little section of 4-in-1 with 4 rings in the middle. These don't have to be closed, they don't have to be pretty, they don't have to match, because all they are is kind of like a base structure that this bracelet is going to jump off of. Okie dokie, ta-da! Pretty, fancy, all that fun stuff, right? Okay. I'm going to go ahead, and I do this with a speed weaving technique. So I'm going to have black for one row and purple for the other row, just like in the other bracelet, it was light blue and silver. So I'm going to pick up one black ring and one purple ring, and I'll show you why in a minute. Now for the tricky part. Do you see these 3 rings right here? 1, 2, 3, and they kind of overlap a little bit. So you can see a little bit of where they cross over right there. And right there, kind of like those pie charts, or the ones that were like this topic and what do they have the same? Yeah, those things, similar like that. What we're going to do here is we're going to go down through our first ring, and we're going to kind of go backwards, circle up, and come up through that gapping in the last 2 rings. I'm going to close that down. This is a 4-in-1 weave, meaning one ring goes through 4 other rings. And I'm going to go ahead and close down my purple too. And now, so I don't have to put my piece down, I didn't have to count out stuff ahead of time, I'm going to open that black ring I had picked up. And I'm going to pick up another black ring. Just one, please. One black ring. One purple ring. And now I'm going to go down through my purple ring, which is my end ring now. I'm going to come back up. And I'm going to go through that little gapping in the next 2 rings. Ba-doop. There we go. Pull that up. Close it down. Close down my purple. And I'm going to open up my next black. So I'm always grabbing rings with my black, with my base ring here. And with the next one, you'll really start to see how the weave starts branching off. So I'm going to pick up one more black, and a purple. I'm going to go through. You can see it through my end ring, the one that's kind of just dangling right there. Go back to 1, 2. I'm going to go through those 2. Maybe I should have chose lighter colors so you could see that better. Oop. Without dropping the pliers. Close her down. Close her down. And open that one up. Repeat. Chainmail is not a task for people who like exciting things that change all the time. Chainmail is very, very, very repetitive. Oh, that ring was already closed. Cool. We can open this one. Is this weave hard to start? Yes. Once you get the hang of it, though, it grows like a weed. Through the end. And now you can see that we're coming away from our base silver here. That's why I chose to do that in a different color. So I'm going to count back 2 purple rings. And come through that crossed hole that they did, kind of like an eye. Close it down. Close it down. Come here, ring. And open that one up. There we go. And now you just keep going. Repeat, repeat, repeat. One of my favorite lines to use at shows as chainmail is just like heavy metal knitting. Now you can absolutely prep out your rings beforehand. You can open all of your equivalent to my black rings and then close all of the purple rings. And then the actual making process might be a smidge faster for you. But that's a whole lot of prep work. And I typically, well, I think it's usually 48 of each color that I do for this. I'd have to go back and check my stats. Not 100% sure on that number. Don't hold me to it. But I think around 48 makes me like 7 or so inches of chain. Oop. I got 2 of them in there. Okay. 1, 2. So you can see we've been going for like, what, a minute here? And it's already about 1.5 inches long. When I said this weave grows like a weed, I'm serious. It's one of the most fun parts to HP41. Ooh, we're going back a little too far. I didn't realize, hopefully you guys can see a little better if I move these guys up a bit. I will honestly speed weave any weave that I can. The less time I have to spend putting it down and picking it back up, the better. But oh yeah. Oh, we grabbed 2 purple rings there, that's okay. Oops, I was going to close that one out. See, I have to put the right piece down, pick it back up. I tell you, that gets annoying and time consuming very, very quickly. And since there's only 24 hours in a day, I want to make the most out of every minute. Come here. You guys ever have issues where a song gets stuck in your head and you hate the song, but it's still on loop and it won't go away? And because that's playing in your head, you can't think of any songs that you actually like, or it just kind of overwrites them and overplays, like speakers going louder and louder. Yeah, that's going on for me right now. And I don't remember who the song is by, but it's the one that's like, got the hots for teacher. I despise that song. It's like I hate the song about smoking in the boys' room. Yeah, I listen to a lot of 80s rock. If I have my choice with the radio station, it is totally 80s rock. Maybe that influenced this color scheme here with the black and purple. No telling. You just keep going. So every time I do this, I'm adding one more set or one more pair of rings, one more black, one more purple. Hopefully the camera is focusing okay for you guys. So what did I show you here? I showed you 2 advanced techniques for making HP 4-in-1. The first was starting with a European kind of stem for it to grow off of, or a base. And the second is how to speed weave. Come here, ringy, ringy, ringy. Okay, lots of ringy, ringies. There we go. This is how jump rings come, by the way. I don't know if you knew that or not. They come, you can see that, holding against my finger. You can kind of see it is neither open nor closed. This is exactly how it was when it was on the coil and they cut it off. Or when they cut the rings. Come on, to do. I should have tried to unhook those beforehand or just not chosen that ring because I can't really use open purples right now. Fine. Those are a couple of colors that didn't belong. Messed that up there somehow. I'm not quite sure how, but that's okay. Except that you will mess up at some point. It's a guarantee. I've had to tear many of these apart because I messed something silly up. So anyway, that there gives you an idea of how to do half Persian 4-in-1. And like I said, you just keep on going until the piece is as long as you want it to be. This one I'm intending to be a bracelet, so I'll take it to approximately 7 inches. I like to put extender chains on all of my bracelets. That way you're not locked onto the one size, because everyone has like hot sweaty days versus cool days where your wrists are itty bitty. I like my jewelry to fit in both situations. I think I'm going to cut it off there. And then when you're ready to finish your piece, you're going to take your last black ring, and without picking up another purple ring, you're going to go through there, through your end ring, and back up through that eye hole, and close it down, and that way it's nice and even at the end. You can see that, hopefully. Nice and even at the end. And the last thing we got to do is take back out our starter chain, because we don't need this on there. And you can completely dismantle it, that's fine. It's not like it was a great work of art that took us a very long time to create. Like I just messed it up. That's okay. There it is. And you have like, end up with one extra ring on the back. Typically when I'm making these and I remove it from my starter chain, this is the ring that I go ahead and put on the front. But we're done. Now we're all level. These out, and you can see, ta-da, HP 4-1. I love wearing it because it's a nice flat weave. So I tilt up, you can see there's not a lot of vertical bulk to it. It's very, very flat. It's also nice and fun to play with. And if you're a tactile person, to pet. The other part that entertains me is this cross hatching, especially in the top section. If you hold it sideways, it looks like a French braid. Actually braided rings. But there we go. All set. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps in your chainmail making endeavors. And we'll see you next week for Maker Monday. Bye!